honest feedback.
That I like when we agree, but I love when we disagree. It had me from the first panel, and
there's a conspiracy here. We're on to you guys.
The Astro helmet with the alien that caused some controversy.
I wish they would have gone a little bit more into that.
I kind of disagree.
I had the first time that the art took a little bit away from me from the story.
What?
Again,
what?
This page, after reading the story, I was like, maybe it was printed in the wrong. Like, I tried to look at the page and where it would actually fit in.
We'll let you, comment what you think. Yep. Team Ann or Team Tom on this. Like, why is there a ghost always in your room? Why? We're way past. We're breaking all the rules. It doesn't matter. Again, this is to nail down the process here.
This is the last episode.
I love ball. Welcome back to Is It Canon? My name is Tom, and that's Ann Bag, and we are discussing issue 11, the Adaptable Alien versus Adventurous Astronaut for VeeFriends. And, this came out a week or 2 weeks ago, and we just didn't get it. We were supposed to get it. This was supposed to be last week's episode. But both of our comics did not arrive on time. So
everybody else got them.
Everyone. We were the last to read this.
There's a conspiracy here. We're on to you guys. There's something happening.
Tell me. Go ahead.
I'm not sure yet, but that was clearly on purpose for some reason.
What do they gain by not letting us have it and discuss their current issue?
Testing out if we really, really want this. Everybody, having us watch the timeline of everybody opening them, everybody talking about it, everybody texting us. That was the crazy part too. There were so many people messaged the two of us or one of us and was like, have you seen this in the issue? What do you feel about this? And I'm like, I haven't read it.
Yeah.
Stop talking to me about it.
It's so funny. I do have a DM. I actually responded to it today because I forgot to let the person know after I read it. They were like, hey man, first off, love the podcast. Like, he's never messaged me before about any comic. He was like, love the podcast, love what you're doing, really enjoying the reviews. I'm reading through it. I'm only halfway through, but this is already my favorite issue, mainly because of these panels. And he sent me a bunch of pictures, and then he's like, looking forward to hearing what you think. And then I just go, I haven't read it yet. And he unsent all the pictures and was like, I'm so sorry. I hope you didn't see it. I hope it is. But I'm like, you're fine. You're fine. I didn't see anything.
I wonder if it was the same person. Somebody wrote me too, with a panel about something, and I'm like, I haven't gotten it. I'm so sorry. Let me delete it.
It might have been. It might have been, right? Because we can ask off air.
It's cool to see people being so excited and reaching out and wanting to talk about it. I think that's the whole purpose of it, not just for our podcast, but for the comics itself too, that people want to have discussions with each other. And somebody asked me about there's one page in there that they felt out of order, which I felt too, and we're gonna get to it. I need to get back to that person. It was cool to see different perspectives and just people being so excited to wanting to talk about it, not just read it for themselves, but actually wanting to have discussions about it. I think we're really getting into a really good flow with people reading the comics and really getting into it.
I agree. And, I love that they want to talk to us about it. Cause I love comics. This is what I love about it. It's a community. And I'm glad that the VeeFriends, which is a community, and comic book fandom is a community, and they're merging and expanding and all of that. So, I love being one of the people that people want to talk to about these comics, and I'm so invested in it that, people feel just with the cards, they can come to me and ask me what are your thoughts on this? And, part of me is sometimes I'm I can't listen to the episode because I don't want to say, because then it you won't, it's going to be what I say in the episode, and I want it to be fresh. I don't want to feel our conversation, you and I do not discuss the comics before we get on, and we want to. We'll say did you get it? Did you read it? And it's I just want to be what did you think? And I don't, because we got to discuss it here. And this is where, so I have no idea how you feel about this issue. Just when we went into Ninja, you were listen, this one didn't connect with me as much. I was whoa, caught off guard. And I love that because it leads to a good conversation. But
Yep.
I like your conspiracy. I mean, maybe they were testing us. Maybe they wanted to see how adaptable we are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, are they going to just be like, oh, we didn't get our comic, so no episode this week? Not us.
Nope.
Nope.
Every Wednesday we drop people.
Yeah. I mean, we shouldn't commit because there's going to be a time where it's like,
and even if it's just a 5-minute episode, one of us
okay,
just talking about something random.
something will come out
hour.
every, right.
There will be something every Wednesday. And even if it's just one of us talking bullshit for 5 minutes.
I like it. We can do what like classic sitcoms and be like a clip show and be like, hey, we don't have anything, so here's a bunch of clips of our favorite moments.
That's a great idea.
I know. I was going to text you about it for next week, but then we scheduled because I will not be here next week. I'll be traveling. So, but we have that situated because I got this today.
I'm not getting it until Friday. Like, again, now they're just testing me. Thanks, VeeFriends. I'm so excited. I saw so many people today on the timeline posting about the new comic number 12, getting different covers. And I was like, so happy for you guys.
I can't wait to read it because, like, I'll be honest, 11 and 12 are like they're for me. They're made for me because issue 11, disaster movie, world end of the world type. I was upset. I went through an era. I've seen so many end of the world movies that this I love it. And then like this one is just a big ass kaiju type monster, whatever, that's me. Godzilla, Kong, all I'm upset. So I can't wait to read it. I haven't read it. I got it today. I ripped 5 or 6 and hit 3. I got 2 alt covers and a cracked dice. So I'm pumped about it. My son, I had him pick out the 5.
Nice.
And he was like, I'm like, yeah, he went nuts because, because I also had him rip the Astro comic with me and we hit 8 straight base. So he was like disappointed. So he lost his mind at the cracked ice.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I might be able to get it Thursday because I'm going to Comic-Con. I assume they have them. So maybe I get it one day earlier.
Oh, okay.
I can buy it there and then have like.
Yeah, but we can't. You won't have it.
That doesn't help us.
No. But that's okay because you know what? We're adaptable.
Yeah.
Humans coming together and being adaptable is the theme.
So us.
That's the theme tonight. That's so us.
Let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
I only ripped base. Shocker.
Yeah, I know. Base.
Not even the alt cover. Like the amount of time I don't. The thing is, I looked through all my comics and I have all like variant covers besides the ones from Jim. I still need Jim's from 8 and I still need Jim this one. For some reason, I have none of the Jim Rock.
Interesting.
That's my only. So I need to get my act together and get those.
Okay, so this one's a little bit unique, right? So the plot is by Gary. The script is by Jim. The art is by Ben Perkins. So that's a new face, new name for us, right? And then colors by Chris Faison. Cover A is by Ben. That's this. Cover B, which is the Astro helmet with the alien that caused some controversy because people thought the alien was inside the helmet. Come on. No, stop that. And people were like, oh, I hope the alien's not in there. They just weren't thinking. I love that cover. Jim crushed that. But I also love this. I'm actually like, I won't lie. I'm not familiar with Ben Perkins. So this was my intro to his art, and we will definitely get into that because I have some things to say.
Before we get in, I like that they always have a paper on it so people can't weigh certain things, and now it's kind of like a bookmark, which I like. I think it's so much smarter to have an extra thing. The funny thing is, it didn't work.
Oh, I
tried it out and it didn't work for me. It was my phone, but
I'm gonna try.
Friends, if you listen, I know DJ is listening. He commented. So DJ, this one wasn't, at least not for me. It wasn't working.
Yeah, nothing's happening for me when I click it or when I scan it. All right, well,
go fix that for next time.
Listen,
the one after. That's how we try these things
It's
out.
just gonna take you to the shop or something, right?
Yep.
But yes, get that shit in order. And at first I'm like, why do we need a bookmark for a comic book? It's a single issue. Who's stopping midway through a comic? But that makes sense that it's the weight
Instead of the
counterweight.
paper, which makes
Yeah.
sense because then you take it out and actually have a piece of paper that lays around somebody could pick up, or like you could get it to somebody versus just a white piece of paper that it was before.
Or, as a collector, I'd be like, can I grade this?
No, definitely not.
Can
Sure.
we, do you think so? Like, I'm a video game collector, right? And
Mhm.
having the inserts or the manuals inside makes it
Mm.
100% complete. Do you need this bookmark inside the comic? Can we get a special label from CGC that says bookmark included or something like that?
Ooh, that'd be cool. I could ask that.
I
Let's
could
see.
ask that. It was my idea. I could ask that.
But I'm going to Comic-Con and CGC is gonna be there.
Yeah, you should ask that.
Content.
And yes, you should ask that because that idea was birthed on the spot right here on Is It Canon? And so Is It Canon does own that.
Yes. You can own that. It's more fun when you ask it in person to somebody, have a video for it.
Yes, please ask. I don't give a shit. I hope the answer is yes. I just want an answer. Yes,
Well, let's
very
get into
cool.
it.
I do like that.
Okay. Honest feedback. Wasn't for me.
This one was not.
No. There's a couple of things. I feel like
Flashback.
it's again, it reminded me a lot of The Ninja. It's a
Mhm.
very action-packed comic, which just isn't for me. It's just not the
Right.
type of movies I watched movies like that with my dad and stuff, but it was never something that I was drawn into. And I feel like I like some of the reference in here, like the Men in Black and stuff. Like there's some funny stuff in there. But there's some confusing pages for me where I'm like, why is that page in there? Like it doesn't make sense to me. And then there's just I personally always feel that when it's a very action-packed comic, the message and the trade falls flat for me.
Okay.
Like I don't have the moment of that. That's what VeeFriends is for me. Like I need the trades, I need to like the lesson and something learning out of it, and like I'm connecting with something, and I didn't have that here.
Okay.
It's just
I kind of disagree. But again,
I
like
like that.
maybe the demographic, the target audience is going to be more, male heavy, right? Because action movie, apocalyptic event. Like I just said, I didn't know you were going to say that. I just said I love end of the world movies. Armageddon, Deep Impact. You have like nodes of that. Independence Day. Like, come on, especially Independence Day. So like that
I
to
felt
me, it just felt familiar in that way. And I haven't seen one in the day the earth stood still, the day the earth. Yeah, that's doesn't matter.
don't ask me about
It's
movies.
been a while, right? 2012, like all these, the day the earth stood still. Did I just say that?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Was that last listening?
I'm losing it. Did I just echo? I just said it, thought I said it wrong, thought the same thing, and reset it as if it was I just corrected myself. And I think I said the same thing. All right. Cut that. All right. No. Okay. Well, we start out right out the gate. Fuck me.
Yeah, I know that too.
It had me from the first panel, Anne. When you start a comic with fuck me, I'm in.
I did like that part.
Okay. So we're in like some sort of scientist lab, or science lab, astronomers, whatever. And what's her name? Cynthia, I guess, sees that just something's heading towards Earth at a very fast speed and will collide according to their star map. And then everyone starts freaking out.
I wanted to say about the art, it reminded me of Mad. I think you in America like the Mad magazine.
Oh, Mad Magazine. I thought you said
We
Mad.
we didn't have the magazine. We had a game from it. I don't know how to play it, but the art of it reminded me of that for some reason.
Oh, interesting. Like the cover with that kid. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
like
know
the
exactly what you're
whatever like
saying.
kid's name was.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know.
but like
I never had Mad
we had a
Magazine,
board
but
game from it growing up. I remember that. Don't ask me what it was about. I just remember that just we didn't have the magazine in Germany.
okay.
But we had that. And I feel like when I looked at the art, it kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
I can see that. I can see that. I mean, I loved on page 2, like the Oval Office scene, just the composition. But like, I just looked around because of this podcast, and I'm trying to find hints or whatever Easter eggs. The group of people in this room is just hilarious. Like, you do have the Men in Black guys in the back, right? And they show up again. But like the big dude on the left with the goatee and the blue jacket, I just like the guy who looks like fucking Dick Tracy in the bottom left with the hat and the trench coat. Like, I just would love to know, like, where did these character, you know, where were the inspirations of these? I mean, I
Mhm.
feel like it's from things that, this, I guess right? Ben Perkins. I
Mhm.
guess it's just like stuff from movies he's seen or whatever. It could be just nods to different characters from movies or something that, but I just thought it was hilarious. But I do love just like the perspective of the oval.
Mhm.
I feel like that was so well done.
There was a couple of really cool perspectives in here that were really different. It's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah. Like, this was an easy favorite panel to me in this
Really,
book. Yeah. Oh yeah.
like I
I
know
feel like,
he talked about this one in Making Comics Now with DJ and Jim a little bit. He went into that a little bit, but I don't think it's my favorite panel.
okay. All right. Well, so we learned that 555 days till this impacts Earth. And, they're in the Oval Office. The scientists in the first page are telling the president's telling people, like, typical government stuff, like pull all the funding from this, how long do we have until the riots start type stuff. But I love where it's like, get me Adventurous Astronaut. Is that? Yeah. Where is he? On his way to Mars. He's turning around. It's just like, that's a movie scene where you just go, who is Adventurous Astronaut? This, like, you feel like this badass, like, celebrity guy. I don't know. I can't explain it. It makes me smile. I'm remembering all the movies, Armageddon growing up. So.
I said, like, for me, it was hard to get into this one. I just think, like, in the Ninja, I don't see myself, like, and again, like, you know me, like, I'm not a girly girl. I'm not like I miss the, I don't, it's just, you look at these panels and it's always just a bunch of guys together all the time. Like, if you look at that Oval Office, and I don't want to, like,
It's all men.
it's
Yeah.
one scientist and it's one female, and that female is dressed in pink and purple. Come on. That's what we like. It's just like I need a little more of, like, I want to see myself in comics, and none of it is me. And
Well,
like
maybe
it's just
you're the scientist, the female scientist that says fuck me. That's you, and she's in there too. But I get what you're saying. It's 95%.
the woman who can't guess a duck. Or who guesses a duck after
Is the
that.
scientist? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
All right.
scientist.
You're more pink and purple, lady. All right. You're more pink and purple. Okay.
I like the scene when it goes like the underground where the alien lives. I wish they would have gone a little bit more into that. Like, I think, and I know they will probably be in like future issues. I think one of the issues with this comic was, for me, they tried to get too much in. Too many stories were told from Alien and Astronaut and the scientists I feel like there's just pages in there for me. I was like, why is it in here? Just I know it's kind of like, I know that the original stories, or like the first stories of something, are always kind of like the opening, like almost introducing all the characters that are gonna be important. I just feel like there's so much, and then the things that I really like is like they're not going into, and it's like, oh man. It's like,
well, yeah, because if they explain everything, I get what you're saying. If they didn't shoehorn, I don't even think they're shoehorning, to be honest. But like, if they didn't do too much according to you, then they could have explained. But like, I don't need for this story that they're telling, we don't need to know why or how Alien is here. We don't need to know.
Like
They
they're showing me this whole underground world, and I was
right.
like, "That's all you're
Okay.
giving me? Like that's
But
the
like
one thing I want to know about. Like nobody knows about this. There's this whole world under there, and we're just not going
right.
to talk about it."
So how cool will that be when they get into it because you're interested? I mean, their job here is to tell an interesting story and hopefully hook you in to want to read more of it. If they spent so much exposition telling me about the background of how the alien get there and then I don't get to the actual story. It's like if you spend too much time telling us that, then then it just takes away from the overall story. That's a whole nother story there, Anne. And I think that they
And it's
will.
like,
So,
maybe it should have been different stories and not in one comic. Maybe Astro and Alien
okay.
needed their own.
Well, we find out why the alien needed to be in this story. I mean, yeah, you could say like, well, they should have told a whole different story, but then that's a whole different story. So to me, first off, I love the art on that page with the underground. It's so cool. Like the amount of detail, because
Mhm.
I wouldn't say the art is overly detailed. I mean, like look at this guy's face. Like that's not overly detailed, but look at the
The
detail in
background
all the
is insane.
machinery.
Yeah.
Like that page is incredible. So it's not, let's call it hyper realistic, but it's super detailed. And that's what's cool. I mean, like the mountain ranges in the background, like it's outstanding. So that's where I said I have a lot to say mainly about the art. I absolutely love it. It really to me draws you in. It's very busy. So sometimes I'm overwhelmed, but like not really that much. And I love the design of Alien. I think
I
this
think
is like a
I
cool,
think it's harder for somebody new like me to comics to sometimes read some of the panels. Like I know there was 2 or 3 pages where I started on the wrong point reading it because there's like panels within overall pages and stuff.
yeah.
And I think so that's somebody like you, like who's been into comics and now how to like read something and where to go. It's easier for somebody like me who's new. Is like it was a little bit harder to get some of this in.
I can get that. Like that's years and thousands of comics of experience, like I can see where it's not panel, 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 panel,
Mhm.
in a grid and it's an open page. I love the open page. It really lets an artist really like get creative with the page design of it. However, I can see like normally you would think like whatever word bubble, regardless of side, you would think top left, highest bubble, that's where you start. But sometimes the bubble is, 2, 3, 4 inches down, and then
Mhm.
on the top right, there's a higher bubble.
Yep.
So, like, do you start here or do you start here? Now,
Mhm.
I know that this is where you start, right? You do this, and then you go up here, right? And that's
And I think I started on the top because that's for me like you start from
right.
the top down.
You work to a top down. I get
Yep.
that, right? But it's kind of like it's just borderless. So, like, this is a panel here, and then this is the 2 panels next to it.
Mhm.
So like they usually will have some sort of division, even if it's open, there still should be segments like that you can draw. So
Mhm.
that's a panel. It just doesn't have a traditional squared off panel. So I get what you're saying, but yeah, sometimes I mean it still happens to me sometimes where I think, especially when the bubble's here, but then the tail of it goes down to a bottom right, and it's like you actually don't read that until a different part of the page. Sometimes they get overly creative with it, but
Mhm.
the amount of times in my lifetime that I've read it and I'm like, that doesn't make sense here, so I must be reading it out of place, and then go back and be like, I got it.
I mean, yeah, you get it at the end, but like it's just for somebody new to comics, it's a little bit harder for some of these pages to like where you're going from here.
Okay, that's fair. So all right, so we see Adaptable Alien lives in New Mexico underground in a big, facility, but is working with the government. We don't know what for. We don't know how long. Like this is the prequel comic that you're gonna long for, right?
Mhm.
how did he get here? How long has he been here? All the questions that you're having. They don't address any of them. We are just, we're thrown into Adaptable Alien lives on Earth and is helping the government, is hidden away. And when we hear that this asteroid is heading towards Earth, the men in black with their LL Cool J hats, for some reason, go to this facility and approach Alien and saying, like, we have a big issue. Alien's like, what's the issue? And they're like, oh, I don't know. The whole fucking world ending is the issue. And Alien, being alien and not a human, is like, what's the issue? Like, these things happen every, X amount of millions of years. This is how the humans got here. An asteroid hit Earth, killed all the dinosaurs, changed the course of the Earth's future, and then, evolution of humans happened. You're not here unless something like this happened. So this is just going to happen. This is how it is. Work together to try to figure it out, because you're not dinosaurs, you're smarter. And then, even the press secretary says, we're not the dinosaurs, we'll figure this out. And that's him trying to say, like, be adaptable. You're in this situation, you can't change it. So get together and figure it out. I'm not going to solve this for you.
Yep. Like, some just, when you go, I know just talked about the press on this page. Again, I feel like I had the first time that the art took a little bit away from me from the story. And I can't, it has too much happening for me. Like, I have a really hard time focusing on what's important. Like, on that page specifically, like, all the background stuff, like, behind it is like, take that away from me. Like, I don't know where to read first. I don't know why this page is like, there's just so much for me that is like, for me personally, it's like, I'm overwhelmed by some of the stuff, to be honest.
I love this page. I love this page.
It's just awesome that we are so different. Like,
I know.
Like, people are going to read it so different.
Yes. And that's why we do this, right? And I like that. I like when we agree, but I love when we disagree. Yep. I love this page. Now, you're saying, it takes away from what's important. Nothing to me on this page, the words are important. But what this page is just what's that?
Why is it there?
Because
you're taking my time away.
And this is real life. This is all unconfirmed, from the previous page. Some people found it, that aren't part of the government and are passing it to, media people or whatever, right? Your listeners to the radio are going to, this page is real life. Everything we consume. That's why they have
media, but like, there's just so much. Maybe that was the purpose of like making it as much as like.
And every time something happens in the world, do only a couple people talk about it on social media? No,
of course there's a ton.
Way too many people. You have the first. I don't care about being right. I care about being first people. That's all these people. The conspiracy theorists, the guy with the beard that's like, this is it. They're coming from the people. Like, I love this because this is real life. This is how media, this is how information is shared. It's way too much. It's overwhelming. You don't know what to trust. The people create conspiracy theories. And so, like, the words are meaningless. So, like, honestly, it could have even done without words. It would have told the same story. But the only reason they have it is to know how absurd some of the shit that they're saying is. An interstellar object is an Earth impact. These aliens are not our friends. One, they don't know that it's aliens because we know that it's not aliens. They're not our friends. How do you know they're not our friends? Like, it's just people saying shit for clicks, which we know in our world is all people do. They don't care about being right. They just want the views and the subscribers. And that's why they added subscribers, views, likes. I love this page because this is so real.
I got that it's like all about social media and stuff, but maybe because I don't consume social media like this. Like, I work in social media and I make a lot, but I'm very cautious of what I consume. I don't watch the news.
But neither do I. So neither do I. But you know it exists.
Yeah, but like there's certain things I just don't instantly out of my like I'm very cautious about like what I let into my feed, how I like
Understood.
train my algorithm. So like that
Absolutely.
is so out of range for me, out of absurd because I don't consume any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
I'm so particular about like keeping my feed and myself positive. I know these
This
things
is what
exist.
you avoid. This is
Yeah.
why you do this. So you know this exists, and you know that most people are not like you and
Yeah.
just feed right into it because they're bored and they want something to be entertaining. And then they get radicalized because people are like, the aliens are good. Because this big bearded with no teeth guy says these aliens are not our friends. They go, you know what? Fuck these aliens. I'm not paying my taxes. You're like, you know, these people exist. So
Luckily,
this,
okay, she's never gonna listen because she also doesn't know enough English and doesn't know this exists. It's a little bit like my mom is. I love my
there you
mom
go.
dearly. She's
Of
awesome.
course.
But like she will get caught up in stuff like
Yeah.
this so easily, and I'm like so not like this. And I feel like
Right.
that's maybe why this page is so overwhelming for me. Is like
Right.
I get now if people consume stuff like this and like the intensity of it, that you just feel like shit all the time and just like
Yeah.
I'm negative.
Correct.
It was like
But
I'm
that's
just
why people
not.
do it.
It's like
Right.
I'm
So
just
you don't
protecting
like
myself.
it.
It's like it felt overwhelming for me. It's just like
Right.
there's too much going on. I can't.
Well,
I don't
just
want it.
like how in real life you avoid it because it's overwhelming to you. I do as well. I don't like what they're saying. I don't love that. But this is so accurate. And I love it that it start from like a hobbyist finding it, feeding it to a, you know, I can't on the record. Your listeners deserve to know. So, like a hobbyist finds it, feeds it to someone who has some sort of like radio show, then an observatory in Chile. Do not implicate me, but the people need to know like they're both grabbing this envelope, but don't look because they know that what they're doing, like it's just then it's leaked and they found us. Who? What? It's just fear mongering bullshit that we
Mhm.
know exists that consumes it. So it's just, I love this page because this is how it would happen. This is what would happen in this scenario if something like this was to come about.
And
And this is
maybe
how
I get that it's real, but maybe I don't like it because I don't like this part of
I hate
humanity.
that shit too, but I like it because they, you know, it's realistic. That's all. All right,
Yep.
we'll move on. But I will let you, you know, comment what you think,
Yep.
Team Ann or Team Tom on this. Like,
What
and
about teams? Like we're both on the same team. We both don't like
like
this.
meaning like, do you like which way do you feel? Not like fuck Ann. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like, did you like that page because of the points that I made, or did you not like it because of the points you made? Anyway, okay, so moving on. Now we're back into, you know, the people that are actually important to the story and not the people that aren't. And then what?
Again,
What?
this page, why is it there? Like this is for me another page where I'm like, we're just explaining who's part of the story and why they're there. I feel like this page could have
This
been
one.
gone.
Or both
Both
sides.
of them.
Both of them. All
It
right.
could have been gone and the story would have been the same. Is that just me? Like I feel like a lot of the story is just about introducing all the different characters that at some point are gonna be relevant.
This is
Why
okay. So this is where this page is important, right? Because this is where the what's her name? Cynthia? Is that her name? Yes. Cynthia said, like, hey, I saw this blip. And that's how you know it's not an asteroid. Because which we come to learn that it's not. Because there's a signal. Because asteroids don't send signals. So it could be a normal radiation variance, but then it says you're a genius. There's a signal between the object and Earth. Can we locate the source? So the object, if it's putting out a signal to where Earth can receive a signal from it, it's not an asteroid.
I know, but then it goes into like Adventurous Astronaut being coming in.
Well,
Like, it's just
so I'm just talking about this page. So over here, because that was for day, 495 days till impact. This is 488, so a week later. And she has the realization, Dulce, is that how we say it? You know,
Dolce. I don't know.
Dolce. Dolce de Leche is all I can think, but this is a real place. I looked it up in New Mexico, but I don't know. I don't know what we're butchering it somehow.
Yep.
All right. Dr. Olmeyer, what time is it? So she just has this realization. I don't know how or why that she says Dolce. And then they call the president with it in the middle of the night. And I guess that's the source. That's why. Okay, so can we locate the source of the signal from the page prior? Okay, here's how it goes. This page is super important. So,
see, it's so confusing.
I
love that we're talking about it so I can learn about it.
I knew that this one was important because this is where they learn that it's not an object, right? Or we're sending a signal to the object. Because again, I read it as the object is sending. I wanted to show you this signal blip. It could be radio, send it through. There's a signal between the object and Earth. So you assume between, meaning like who sent it, who originated it, what's the source. In this page, okay, this is where sound effects matter. She gets woken up by beep, 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 beep. This is them locating where the signal is sourced from, which is Dolce, which is where they said, oh, we have a base. So they located where the signal came in, because it says, send it through AIN to see if it cleans up, just so that you can find the source of the signal. This alerted them because it found the source and it's in Dolce. And so they call the president, and then the president is saying, Dolce, we have a base there. We know at this point that that's the base where Alien. So the alien's up to something, which is why he says Adventurous Astronaut is supposed to return today. And it had him go straight to Dolce to talk to the alien. And that's how the astronaut goes up to him and goes, you've endangered the human race, because he knows that the alien has been sending signals to this object that's speeding towards Earth. That's how astronaut and everyone knows that the alien is involved somehow. And they're blaming him. They're leading to blaming him, like, you're calling this object to Earth at this speed. You're about to cause this cataclysmic event. So that's what that page was for, is the realization that not only is this not an asteroid, but they located where, like, who's behind it.
Okay.
Does that make sense now?
Yep.
Okay. And listen, I didn't get all of that the first time. I got the signal thing, but I didn't, the other thing. And you know why I didn't realize it? Because I'm just thinking that she just went, Dolce, like as if she has them, but like beep, 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 beep. Like I didn't connect the dots because I was reading it fast to get ready for the episode. You know what I mean? So I missed that. So that clears that up. And I'm glad we realized that in real time. Now we get to the stuff that I loved. I love this little battle between Astro and Alien.
I do like the part of like how the alien is like changing forms and stuff. That's kind of cool.
It's so cool. It's so cool. It reminds me of the X-Men Darwin that can adapt to any situation and evolve. Like what? Like if you put him underwater, he'll grow gills to breathe underwater because he just that's his mutant power. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of that, where like any situation you put Alien in, he will adapt to survive. And I love that. It makes me like he's blending into the ceiling over here. They throw a net, he can then just like kind of just turn into a liquid and jump out of it. I love this page so much, this double splash so much.
I also like that the only real text in there says, damn it, his adaptability keeps increasing.
Right.
So like he gets more adaptable the more challenges there are. It's not getting less, or like he's not getting defeated. He's just like adding more to it. I think I really like that part of it.
Yes. And then if you notice throughout all that, he's getting bigger and stronger and all this stuff. And then at the very end, he catches an elbow to the chin, right? And on the next page, he de-evolves into the most cartoony version of himself.
I know.
So I loved that whole like sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool to me. And then so, he's kind of caught at that point as the reason that this thing's heading towards Earth, and then says what his whole purpose of doing it is: work together and adapt, survive. And then disappears. And we don't see him again until the end. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of like double splash pages, and that's just like, so this isn't my favorite panel, but it's my favorite page as a whole. All right, so then we go back to news outlets showing again how it's so realistic. Riots are ensuing and all the stuff. The only thing that I noticed is like when they said when the president in the first like page or two was like, how long do we have? And they're like, 6 months. We're at day 4 or 488 days, and we started at 555. We're at like 2 months, and they're already riots. That's how fast this news broke and escalated to riots and protests in the street.
Which I feel like is very true. Like
exactly.
The moment it got out would be like, you only have so much time left. Like people would just go
crazy.
Idiots.
It doesn't take any. We know, we see it all the time. The littlest thing people use as an excuse to go riot and loot and all that stuff. So, it is what it is. But it, like you said, that's why I like it, is because this is how it would play. This is how it would play out. And then the press secretary just, we're not the dinosaurs. I assure you, we're going to solve this problem together. Always just trying to spin it.
Yeah.
Politicians. Dow Jones, like still reporting on the stock market of money when the world is coming to an end. Nope, we got to still know the Dow Jones is down. And then we get to it. Like the perspective on the next page just blew me away.
Okay, this is, I think, the page that people were writing about it. What is happening? This page is
This is a hallucination. Again, he's waking up, screaming no.
So all this is a dream?
Yeah. It took me a second too. It took me the first time. But he's like, this is after the alien did what it did, right? He if you go back.
I think, yeah, because down here, but like, because you're so into this now, you forget about this.
Correct. So but that's the point. So if you're watching a movie, if they went from that right into something else, it's a dream sequence. If you're watching a movie, they'll do something, someone gets knocked out, right? And then they go show something else, you forget about it. And then in the next sequence you see them, you're like, what the hell? And then the person wakes up and you're like, oh yeah, he was just knocked out. So that's exactly what happened. This is a storytelling way. Like he wrote it this way on purpose.
I get it when you explain it to me, but like, I just don't see him because of like how he is in that panel and that page he's not just getting up for me. He's already like, I don't know. It's really hard for me to, I get it when you say that.
Yep.
Like I see that, but then when he's in this one, it's just like, he's just awake and like, it just doesn't seem for me he's waking up.
I get you. But like these lines that are like angled up is like kind of him sitting up. Waking up.
See, maybe that's the experience you have with comics, and I don't.
Sure.
Like, it does not translate that for me.
I get
like this page, I think, is what some people were writing about, that they felt out of place, that they just didn't understand it. I didn't understand it either. Now when you explain it to me, it makes sense.
Favorite panel.
It's like I love that perspective too.
It is so. It took me a second. I'm looking at this. I'm like, what am I looking at? Because I just didn't understand what I was looking at first. I'm like, okay, there it's going. And oh, that's it coming down. That's like a worm's eye view looking up, or with the 360 with the hand that's coming. How did he draw this?
Like, I like the perspective and like the different type of people, the different reactions.
Yes.
Of it. Like the mom, like holding the kid and protecting it. Like, that's just like a typical, like, that's what you would do with your kid, like.
Right. One guy's praying. The other one's running in fear. The other one, some people are just like, take me. You know what I mean? So this is all a hallucination, because then it crashes. Because at first I'm like, I don't understand. It hit. Why are we? I had to go back. It's not, but like, because now I'm seeing like, why is everyone normal? Did it not just
Mhm.
hit? And then I had to go back and look, and then I went, oh, right. But that's the point of it. You're not supposed to understand. It's supposed to be confusing for a second. Sure, maybe this part could have been a little bit more clear. I can give you that. But aside from that, it did what it wanted to do, which was confuse you until you realize this isn't this all this didn't happen. But look at the detail. It's so cool.
I think for me, it's always like I try to look at stories. Do you need it in there to tell the story? Like, is that important for him to have that vision of him? Like, as cool as this looks, if I take this out, does the story
The
change for
story
me? I
stays
think
the same.
I'm like, is it
I get what
important
you're
enough?
saying.
Like, does it say like that's what's motivating him to really figure out what's going on because he sees the end of it? You know what it could look like.
Sure. But it's supposed to be an experience. You're not supposed to just like learn. I could have said, like, I could just skip to the end and just be like, this alien is calling it ship. And that's the story. Why is there a ghost always in your room? Why? Something
Telling me
for the
something.
listeners, something randomly moved behind Anne. This is
Another
like the
comic.
fifth episode that's happened.
So it's one of Jim's ones too.
Yeah, he doesn't like your take on this.
Sorry,
No,
Jim.
no, because like you can simplify any story to
I know that,
we
but like,
thought this, but like why say this? It's because you're experiencing this. So like, okay, the astronaut saw that, like, I'm not saying this is the case, but like sometimes these I'm not a big dream sequence guy where people get into like analyzing dream sequences in movies or TV, right? I don't love that, to learn the inner monologue and the inner blah blah blah. But like for 1 page or 2 page to kind of like throw you off and keep you on your toes, it's like, because if you just tell a story, it can get boring. So like that, having that big cataclysmic event that doesn't end up happening in this issue, right? We get to see a little preview of what it would look like, because like we're not going to see it at the end. So like they want to show some sort of action. It pulls you back in. Because at one point, if you're just going through like, oh, he disappeared, and here's some news cycles, you're just like, oh, this again. And then you see it and you're like, what the hell is happening? What is happening? But boom, and you're tapped in again. It brings you back. So it's like a palate cleanser of like, okay. And then they go back into the story. So I think it does serve a purpose. I get what you're saying. Is it needed for the story? No. But
I
this is
think
an experience.
I like the idea of like showing something you're not going to be able to see in this issue because we're stopping before it happens, or like the story stops before it could happen. I think it's just it threw me off so much that then I was thrown off for the rest
That's
of the
fair.
story. I think that's what.
I understand that, and that's totally valid. And like I said, if it was more clear that he was coming to from being knocked out, you might not have had been taken out of the story so much.
Like
And
I
again,
kept after reading the story, I was like, maybe it was printed in the wrong. Like I tried to look at the page and where it would actually fit in. That I was like, maybe it was the boom when they blast off. Maybe it was supposed to be the boom after like the alien actually left, and it should have been right after before the news story, and that's what it was.
yeah,
Like I just tried to make sense of it.
I get it, because I'll tell you, like, admittedly, I get this now, and I got it after, but not at first. At first, I go, maybe this was like one of the shards in front of the asteroid. This was like a pre-hit, like even in
Mhm.
movies where an asteroid's coming,
Yep.
like the big one is coming. That was just one that was the size of a car. The next one's the size of Alaska. So like all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
So I thought it was maybe that, and then I'm like, what about? And then I just, the 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 astronaut at the bottom of the panel where it says "ba-boom," and he wakes up, because at first I thought he was saying no, in that it hit.
Mhm.
No. And he was upset that it hit. It's not as clear. So maybe having one panel where he's knocked out and the next one he's sitting up would
Mhm.
have made it more clear. But like, that's what's happening. So it's not out of order, people. It's in the order it did. Okay, it could have maybe landed a little bit, and that's why people are confused. If enough people think it, it's valid, right? If just you didn't know or whatever, because I was confused a little bit at first, but then but like once I got it, it made sense to me, and I get why they did that. So hopefully that clears it up, and that's why this whole I've read a long time and thousands of comics, you're new to that dynamic that we have is super helpful. This is the whole point of this, right? Because we all want to enjoy these books, every one of them. We want to enjoy it. So let's talk about what you didn't. And does anyone have a different perspective of that can show you why they did? And maybe you can appreciate it more, like what happened with issue 3.
So like if somebody, like if you're listening and like you weren't confused, I want to know, like, have you been reading comics for a long time? And if you were confused, are you new? Like, is it like a new reader thing? Like you said, like for you, those lines made sense that he just got up. For me, not in a million years would I have. Like, it just, because it's not what I'm used to.
No, that makes sense. So,
other people's perspective.
Yeah. So please comment what you think. And hopefully now, like if you were someone that didn't connect with this issue at first and was like confused sometimes with it, does that being cleared up help you like get that hurdle out of the way for you to enjoy it now? Because like, I also think like there are some issues that kind of hold your hand to tell you the story. I don't, show don't tell. Like when they explain everything, you're like, I can get that. Like, with movies, sometimes movies over explain and hold your hand for you to understand. The movies that get viewed as like very deep and is like letting you figure it out or letting you learn, but not being, some take it too far and it's completely, it's not. If everyone was confused by this, it would be like, it'd be objectively bad then. If it's just, you didn't see it and some did, and the people who did enjoyed it and the people who didn't had some issues with it, but they just didn't know. And now that they do, they can enjoy the rest. Maybe that's the whole point.
Which is funny because we've talked about it before on the podcast that I love movies like Inception or Memento.
Yeah.
But for some reason, maybe because of the story, again, being so action-driven and a little bit confusing, I have a harder time getting into it.
Okay.
Versus if it's like a mind bender. I like mind-bending things, but like it has to be something that I actually
This is not a puzzle, make you think.
I was never into space. Like, it's not something like we've talked about that you have been like in the past. So I was like, I think that's a different things too of like how you approach something like this. Like
100%.
A story like this. I was not.
I absolutely, like, when I don't love magic, like wizards. Like I love Lord of the Rings, and that obviously Gandalf is a wizard. But like, I'm not that big on Harry Potter. I don't love things like, I like some sort of explanation, like in superheroes, Doctor Strange is not one of my favorite. I find him very uninteresting, and he's the Sorcerer Supreme. He's a wizard. I don't mind super abilities, like Captain America has his abilities because of the serum. When there's an explanation, even like Thor being a god is okay. He's a Norse god, but like he's not one of my favorite either because he's just not relatable at all. So like when you strip the relatability away from it, it's just, but people love that stuff. So like that type of stuff doesn't connect as much with me. So we all have tastes. So like that makes sense. But if you don't love it because that's not your genre, valid. If you don't love it because you don't understand it or you're confused by some panels or whatever, and once that's cleared up, you can then enjoy it, then that's the whole point of this is, we can clear stuff up so that, give everyone the best chance of enjoying these comics that we all want to enjoy. We all want all these comics to be good. So, okay. So they all wake up and, with his uncanny adaptability. We may never find him. So they're all waking up after Alien kind of knocked them all out and disappeared. Some guy starts freaking out. Like ridiculous. Talk about something that didn't needed. He smacked this guy's head 180 degrees. That's not needed. All because he's like, I need to call my wife and kids. Guy's having a moment of like, my wife and kids are going to die. And he fucking clocks him. I mean, I do like the face that he's making, but like, yep. I get, is
like, that necessary?
Yeah. Like, get it together, man. Anyway. So then the president talks, he gives his speech. It's not as powerful as Bill Pullman's in Independence Day, but it is good. We will survive. We will not go quiet into the night. Today we celebrate our Independence Day. I just got chills saying it because I was remembering how good of a speech that is. Anne has no idea what I'm talking about.
I watched the movie, but I watched it in German. So
yeah, you don't celebrate 4th of July over there, do you?
You don't.
That's an American holiday. Okay. So he has his speech that astronaut's going to take care of it. Astronaut takes off. And then this is the part where I have gotten comments or messages about that people were at least confused or something about the ending. Because, okay, first off, I love that astronaut's just like, okay, you can come out now after he takes off, knowing that he's just cool. The astronaut's a cool character. He's like, he has a reputation of being like a guy who takes care of shit. Like, oh, we have an issue with Mars. He's on his way to Mars. We need you to turn around because we got an issue here. He just seems like a guy to call to, the Superman type guy where he's like, just let me know and I'll be there, and takes care of shit. But also is smart because he knew he was there. And then the part where Alien says it's this is like the big twist. It's not an asteroid. It's his ship. It was never going to crash. The Earth was never in danger. This was I don't know if I use red herring correctly. I don't really know if that is the thing. I think it's something to like fake someone out. I'm probably way off. Please comment and tell me how dumb I am. But like,
don't ask me. German.
You can't just blame Germany for everything that you just don't know. You can't be like,
yes, I can.
No, you.
There's just certain expressions I just don't know.
Well, I'm gonna look it up. This is gonna be quality entertainment.
There's some funny story. Like, I'm not bringing them up right now, but when my husband and I first met, like, I was like really new to America, and like he like said some expressions, and I was like, "What?"
Okay. Like what? Give an example. What one sticks out?
No, I'm not going to say some of them. But I remember like one of my host mom said, "Good for you," and it's like, in Germany, that is always a sarcastic thing. It's like, it's always like, good for you.
Oh, good for you.
And here it can be good for you, and it can be good for you. And she said that, and I was like, why is she mad at me?
This
like,
bitch.
What did I do? Like, we had a good relationship. It was like, there were so many expressions. It was like, that just don't make any sense when you try to translate them one to one. It's like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that can be, people still use it as sarcasm, but some
but you can use both here. And in Germany, it's just sarcasm. It's straight up just like, fuck you.
Okay. So a red herring is a rhetorical device or logical fallacy that diverts attention away from the main topic or issue. So that's kind of like what I mean. It's like, saying one thing, it's kind of like a bait and switch, right? I don't know. I still don't know if I'm using that correctly. It's like gaslighting. I don't ever really know what it means. Like, I know it when people say it, but then when I try to apply it, I'm like, people always go, that's not how that works. I still don't understand. Anyway, basically it was a lie. He set up this whole thing, and Alien wants humans to work together. He's seeing a lot of division in the world. He wants them to come together, and the great unifier of humans is disaster events, especially ones that aren't like country specific. I not to really make this take a dark turn, but I've never seen our country unite more than after 9/11 type stuff, So like after disaster strikes, humans usually unite.
Yep.
They put their petty differences aside. You take that and escalate it to a world ending event. The whole world will put their, shit aside and work together. And that's what Alien was trying to do. He said the Earth was never in danger. It's my ship. Was it calling to actually like leave, or was it completely a diversion or whatever to get people to do it? And that's the only way he knew how, because what else? Nothing else works. Nothing else works to unite people universally. It just doesn't happen. So it's like, unless we're all in it together, we're never going to be together.
Yep.
So some people didn't like that. They wanted the actual threat of the human race being erased and destroyed to make a good story. I guess. I
think it's with every story. Like there's different ideas of like, some people want the happy ending and some people just don't. Like, really depends on what case you're in the mood for.
I think it's cool that the one being on Earth that was willing to do whatever to unite all of humans was the only non-human. Like this is the alien. Like, we don't know how long the alien's been here. Has it been here long enough to like love the human race, to try to save it and all that stuff? But like, it's again, I just equated astronaut to Superman. Superman is an alien. He is not from this world. He was sent to this world as a child and raised as a human, by human parents, and loves humans so much that he does everything. He uses all of his powers for good, to protect even though he's not human. Oh. And yet he wants to be. He pretends to be. He fakes being strong to be weak, to be Clark Kent and get a regular job and be a human, to be amazing. And I think that's kind of cool. Like the alien is the only non-human, and yet it's trying to save humans by having them work together.
I really like that they end the artist pages they do. And I think it's something they might keep doing. I've seen something similar before. I always love the type of behind the scenes, like where they drew their inspiration from and stuff like that. Like that's, at least for me, I love seeing that kind of stuff.
I do as well. Before I get into the after stuff, because I have some there stuff there. Obviously, I have too much to talk about. But the last word balloon. By the way, I'm not the only alien, so humans better get their act together before a benevolent species finds Earth. I'm wondering what, alien knows of other aliens, obviously. We have a lot to learn about alien. Is it part of a species? Is he the only one, or is he from another planet with a whole bunch of aliens like him? What does he know? How old is he? How long has he been around? All that. I almost like not knowing what's in issue 12. I know by the time this releases, many people, including myself, will have read the next one. Like, is Minakawa going to be an alien? Or is this completely like, it almost like leads into it, because I don't, if that's the next thing. I just had that thought, not having read that yet, being that it's too early for me to read it. Like, it probably does not, but that's probably going to come in the next issue of Astro Alien. But it's kind of like, I thought that connection could have been fun if it led right into the next one, because Jim wrote this and number 12 and 13, but we know 13 is farm fights and not alien, big monster related. So, I enjoyed it. This was made for me. This is, I don't know. I have to read it a couple more times and really think if it's in my top 3, if it cracked that. But I love the art. The art is so unique. It's a breath of fresh air. Like it's not that anything else is stale. Maybe breath of fresh air was the wrong term, but it was just different than everything else and very cool. And I loved it. I thought it fit this story very, very, very well.
I think it's the first time too that a different artist did the interior besides the ones on the team.
Right.
I still prefer the one on the team, maybe because I'm just so used to it.
You're just a loyalist.
That's just what?
A loyalist. You're like, I want my.
You know what it is? It's like it didn't, and I don't think it. I think when I first saw some of the pages, I didn't know that Ben made it. I'm not saying that I don't like the art. It's just it doesn't draw me as much in as some of the other art. There's like certain moments where it really draws me in, and there's certain like panels and stuff, but it's not going to be the first issue I pick up when I want to read the issue. I think that's okay. Not every issue is going to be for me.
I like that. This was like my favorite panel was there. It was my favorite panel before I saw that. I'm like, that's why I thought like, oh, everyone's going to say this is their favorite panel, but I
have that as my favorite panel, and then his jet, I guess, is kind of a cool page.
Oh, that is cool. That is cool.
Just because of the colors and stuff. So I feel like this or the perspective one that you said too. And the perspective one more, I mean, like one because of the perspective, but two because of how different people react to a scenario like this. Like that's what's kind of cool for me to see.
Yeah. The little blurb by DJ was exciting. And hey, we know the VeeFriends flagship title leaves a lot of open ends, and you're dying to know more about the other characters or cliffhangers. We'll get there. The way these stories are made is to introduce you to the setup. We set the course, and then the stories will continue in other comic series or beyond. The sky is not the limit. So that's exciting. We knew that for some time now that they were going to start continuing stories. And good, because, you know, Tom wants to know a lot about second issues and what comes next. I can't talk to Jay without him saying, when issue 2 of Fairy, you know? But anyway, another one in the books. I'm a fan, and I'm excited for the next one. Hopefully these open, honest discussions, like, please let us know. And if there's anything that you caught that we didn't and we were confused about, such as what a red herring is, let us know in the comments.
Yep. We always appreciate it. You ready for some games?
Yes.
We're going to do password. Last week, you know, the word token will forever be ingrained. There's like 1 or 2 words I'm like, oh, maybe I should have not picked it, but it is what it is. It's 10 words around VeeFriends Comics, and Gary.
Okay.
Just kind of like last week. Wow, Anne. It's off to a good start. Don't even.
Someone said it today.
So hard to not say number B.
Someone, you weren't even tagged. I posted that I got, you know, the alt covers on Minakawa, and someone's like, you gotta love those number B covers. And I went, good old number Bs. And you are not tagged, so I'm like, she's not even going to see this. And people are saying number B. All right.
See, you're not the only one. Maybe I need to make a GIF about that one.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to show the words up, so you got to close your eyes.
Okay.
And we go in an order, right?
Go in order. So keep track. If you didn't hear last week and you're hearing this week, there's 10 words that Anne has in front of her, and she's going to try to get me to guess the word in front of her by giving me a 1-word clue. There's 10 words. We're trying to get all 10 words. And do we want to try for 15 or go for 20?
Sure.
We want to get to a place where we can do these in 15 clues total to get all 10 words in 15, which means like a lot. Half of them you have to get with 1-word clues, and then the other you get 2. Because this is the first time Anne's giving clues. Last week I gave clues. We're giving ourselves a bonus 5 words if needed, but we're really trying to get it in 15.
Lock in.
Again, lock in.
VeeFriends Comics, and Gary. Oh, I'm getting teacher. Oh.
No. If I didn't have that, that would be me locking in. All right, go ahead.
I almost said the word. Oh my God, Anne. This is go.
We're already off to a great start.
Alpha.
But is the same rule of last time.
It's not,
Okay,
I can't say like alpha and it's alligator.
right. So I know. So people are going to be screaming at their phones or whatever. Say alligator, and people are going to think I'm dumb. We can't use the trait for the animal or the animal for the trait. It's too easy. All right, alpha. Information.
Pin. Alpha and pin.
Pin. Like pins, pins, pins. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't like this side. I want to give clues. Nope. I got nothing.
Really? I thought that was an easy one. Alpha and pins.
So alpha because
think about who you are. That's all I'm giving you.
Alpha and pin. Blasters? Okay. Oh. Blasters are the alpha?
Yes.
That was the pin. Okay. All right.
Andy.
I have a few different.
I know.
President.
Bye.
Bye. BY, BYE, BUI.
BY. Andy. Bye. I thought it was so easy. So different on this side too.
BY.
What do you think when you think of Andy?
President. Kranak. Not knowing who you are when he meets you.
Everybody's screaming at the screen right now. I can guarantee you that.
I believe you. This is tough. Wow.
You will like kick yourself.
Bye. Good Lord.
Tom, you know this.
I don't.
Besides president, what's the first word what you think of when you hear Andy or press?
Oh, bricks. Brick.
Thank you.
No, you're right. You're so right. Well, the first two were his last name, obviously, which I knew it wasn't going to be because that's too easy. And then president, but yeah, by from you, brick by brick. Like I get it, but like, if you say, this is your game, I would have said bye. I would have said something else, but that doesn't mean that I'm right. Okay.
It's technically two words. The next one.
Okay.
Zero cool.
Okay. Zero cool. Trading cards.
7,000. Is that two words?
It's one number, so that's fine. 7,000. So it's a series 1 box. That's it?
It's series 1.
Series 1. Okay.
4.
Spelling.
The number.
Got
4.
it. 4.
For me, it's so different on this side, but you know the answer.
God. 4. What the hell
Again,
is that?
we're thinking of VeeFriends Comics, and Gary.
Yeah.
4.
Harpic.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, God.
Event.
VCon.
Yes. Gem.
Jim?
Gem. Gem. Gem.
Sapphire. Damn it. I'm like the gemstone pins. I'm like, they're sapphires. Sapphire car. Topps chrome sapphire. I thought it was
Whiskey.
okay. So I want to go gem mint 10, but is it mint or is it 10? I'm going to go with 10. Is it mint?
Yeah, but I can't say that. I think we have to ask you another question.
Fuck.
I'm just going to pretend to ask another question.
Gem was a great clue. I just went with an actual gem. I don't think I'm crazy for thinking that, but gem was a great clue.
Do I go like minting NFTs? But I was like, oh, that's kind of hard to like explain. Or do I go like a gem mint?
No, gem was a great clue. I just, when your head goes to one thing, like you couldn't think of a physical token. You know what I mean? Like it's just, that was a great clue.
Blank.
My brain is blank.
It's so different on this side. When you know the answer and you have the things like, it totally makes sense, but it's like, it doesn't if you don't know the answer.
I don't know.
Again, it's VeeFriends Comics, and Gary.
I know. I'm trying to go through the catalog of all three categories in my head. I can't think of a thing in each category.
Blank? What's something blank?
My mind. I don't have a guess. Error.
Cover.
Sketch. Okay.
I think that's one word. Day trading.
I don't know, but we're going to just go with it. Attention.
The next one is hard.
There's been like two that I would call easy so far.
Yeah, all easy from this side. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We had 14. Like, we're not going to make it on 15 because we have 2 more words left.
No. At least we're not like so far off.
No.
Okay.
God, the next one is hard. People.
Community.
Yes.
Let's go.
Space.
Like space? Like outer space? And it's one word.
Mm-hmm.
Moon.
IP.
Like part of me wants to go to a character, but if it was a character, I feel like you would have said character. So I'm not thinking of a space character in VeeFriends. So
it's another word for space. Another word for IP. It's a
yeah. So for another word for IP, I would put as brand. Okay, no. We're breaking all the rules. It doesn't matter. Again, this is to nail down the process here. All right, space. Another word for space.
Everything in space is our
galaxy. Oh, that wasn't my guess. I was just, I was finishing your question, but.
Another clue?
Yeah, I mean, because I want, universe is what the only thing I can think of.
Universe.
That's the answer?
Mm-hmm.
No fucking way.
It's the answer. An IP is a universe.
Oh,
Marvel is an IP and is a universe.
You're right, but I would have never gotten that.
Marvel would have been my next guess. But space is the universe. Yep.
You're right. I went space, galaxy, universe. That's kind of like the evolution of what it is. But I would have never, like, IP, I get where you were going with it. I just never would have connected the dots. Like, it's funny how, like, hearing what you say, the clues you give, and I go, I would have said this, as if it would have been better. Like, instead of buy, I would have said, like, build or building or something like that for Brit. But, you know, Andy was a perfect clue. Blank was not a bad clue. It didn't come into my head. So it wasn't until, but like, it was sketch was the one. Like,
I thought of the blank sketch covers.
Yeah, for sure. Thing. Like, I would have said, like, commission or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, not that that's better. It's easier once, you know.
But it means we need to be more in sync. We're not in sync yet. It's good for us to know.
That's true. But how many we got there? We did break some hinting rules, but
17-ish with some rule breaking.
Call it 18 with that last one. Call it 18. We got it in only 3 above. The parts where we broke the rules is like we gave some extra hints. Like, another word for this is not allowed, you know.
I have a couple of would you rather questions for you. You ready for them?
Yes.
Would you rather do a live stream or a podcast?
Live stream. No offense.
It's fine. Don't take it. It's fine.
I love
the first and last episode. This is the last episode.
I love both. I really do love both, because like I can be so much more relaxed here, but like I just live streaming is just so it's exhilarating to me.
I get it. It's fine. I'm not crying myself to sleep tonight.
I'm so in my head about how bad the last segment was. And I was in the last segment, but when it's live stream, it's like it's over. Once it's done, it's over. Everyone moves on, you know?
Yep.
So
unless somebody clips it.
Fair.
Business dinner with Gary or comic dinner with DJ?
I feel like I'm gonna I don't, no, I would choose the business dinner with Gary, only because I feel like then I can build, take that advice, build something to where I can get that eventually anyway. I could maybe
think either of them would take offense to it. Like, I think it's a very personal decision of where you are in life right now, what you need.
But like, what conversation do I want to have more? Like, one is more fun, one is more educational. The conversation with DJ will be infinitely more fun. Like, I'm not going it like I'm just going to be chatting. What's your favorite this? Tell me the story. Like, it's more, but for like personal growth and all of that stuff, I feel like a business dinner with Gary, I'd be more nervous. I wouldn't enjoy it as much. I'm choosing it for, growth instead.
I get that. Create an iconic comic storyline with the team or design an insert for the next top scrum?
Oh, the first one. By a mile, and it's not close.
Really?
Yeah. Like, yes. What was the second one? Get an insert?
Create an insert in the next top scrum.
Yeah.
Like, you get to be part of creating the insert.
Yeah, no, and that's cool. And you could say, like, maybe it's because I had a sketch card in the last set and the other thing, but I think if you give me personal, like, not a to the moon, like, I would rather the comic all day, any day.
I like that. Only collect cover A's or B's for the rest of your life. But also you have to put into consideration cover A's are the only one with rarities.
Yeah,
but cover B's are all the like special artist?
Shit.
I try to make extra hard ones for you.
That's hard. Right away instinctive B's, but like there are A's that I like more.
Mm-hmm.
I like B's sometimes just because it's more rare. And I like if you said I'm more interested in getting base of both than I am of getting the parallels of cover
Mm-hmm.
A. Like I got the cracked ice of the Minakawa. It's outstanding. But when I think of like what I would want, I want both
Mm-hmm.
A and B. But I have to admit that I think I'm going to say B. That's not like an easy answer though.
Yep.
But for time purposes.
I can't read my own handwriting. I'm gonna come back to that one. I can say again. Have Gary shout you out in public or tell you that he respects you in private?
Respects me in private. What would you say to that?
I don't know. I think both has its ups and downs. I think for me it's more important what he would say versus how he says it.
I'll tell you, Gary has done both for me a little bit, not the private one as much, but he's shouted us out to the moon, all that, like at the national, he sees me and he walks up to me. Like that means a lot when he does that. But I'll tell you, one of the best moments I've ever can say, it was VCon 2. So 2023, I had started the stream in March of 2023. So I just started like my streaming journey. So no one really knew who I was yet, but like some people, maybe call it 10 to 20, had tapped into the stream early. And there were people that I knew at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, it must have hit Gary's radar at some point because like I waited in line to the selfie for the selfie line. And when I got to him, we talked a little bit. This is also when I had him, like I had gone bowling with him at that point too. So maybe that's how he knew me, or I saw him at the national. I have a mutual friend of Gary, by the way, that I went to college with, is good friends with AJ. So, and I didn't know that until after we graduated all these years later, because I didn't know who Gary was, all that. And Gary, like we talked. This is when I showed him the box. We officially named his sketch for that at the bowling, the Tomcat and all the stuff. And then he just like kind of looked at me and it was just like, you're like, I was saying goodbye. And he was just like, you're a good person. And I just remember that. And I was just like, caught me off guard. And I think that meant more to me than, him staying on stream, fucking teacher this or whatever. That moment I think meant more, which is why that's my answer.
You and me, things about me. We have a relationship with each other. Right. Like there's certain things you would say. Like I don't have that with Gary. I never had that in-person moment with him yet. That I feel like we connected really. So I feel like I don't have that with him yet.
Yeah, to me, like this one is not a hard question at all. Because you can shout someone out just because you see a comment or something like that. Something said in private is they actually mean it.
Mm-hmm.
You can say like, oh, this person's fucking awesome if you're on a live stream and you see, like, oh, that guy's awesome. That doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like you could just be saying that, but when it's in private, what he means. You know that person, not just Gary, anyone means it.
I agree. Only collect sealed or singles for the rest of your life. So you can't open the sealed. So only collect sealed wax or only buy singles. No more breaking. One or the other.
First off, this whole world that you created sucks. It sucks. Singles.
Singles?
Yeah, why? Because then you can chase and then you can, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're not breaking it to chase for it, you can buy, you can maxi still and whatever.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you're just a sealed maxi rather than a thing. So singles.
Be known as a VeeFriends expert or as a community builder? I only pick the hard ones.
Community builder, yeah. At one point, I would have called myself a VeeFriends expert.
I think you still are.
I would say I know more than most, but I'm not an expert anymore. I don't know a single thing about the Jolly Ranchers drop. I don't know how many parallels. I don't know. I think there's only 2 characters. I don't know the names of. I've never seen the box. I have no interest in it. There was a time where there was nothing that I didn't know. I watched every stream. I read every blog. Every video. There's now so much, and then I have so much that I'm trying to build that I can't keep up with everything. They've grown. I've grown. I can't. So, there are things about the super stickers that I'm slinging that I'm not 100% on. I learn something new sometimes where I'm like, how do I not know that? It's kind of bad that I don't know that. You know what I mean?
No, but it's true that there's just so much lately. Like they've been growing so much, and there's so much out that you can't pick up everything.
Right. Like even today, I text you. I'm like, wait. So like, some people read Farm Fights already, and that's issue 13. I know it's from the 309 exclusive, but like, where did they get that again? How do we get that? I don't even know. I still don't know where the people got it. So like, I can't call myself an expert anymore, but an enthusiast for sure. But I think a community builder, that's more valuable to me.
I agree. Create something that makes millions or change 1,000 lives.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, because like there's only one answer I can say without sounding like a complete dick.
No, there isn't.
Because like what I want to say is something that makes me millions so that I can change 1,000 people's lives.
There you go.
And if that's a loophole that I'll take, fine. But obviously, I want to change people's lives. That's more important than, millions of dollars. But I think with millions of dollars, I can impact more than 1,000 people's lives.
There you go. There's not just one answer. It's like what you make out of it.
But like if it was like if you put the stipulation of, you can make millions, but you won't change a single life versus this. If you put that in, then I feel like you set me up to.
I didn't put that in.
But okay, fine. Then I found the loophole.
Oh, it's a tough one too. Let the podcast blow up or the VeeFriends Comics blow up?
I mean, how does the podcast blow up without the VeeFriends Comics blowing up? How does that happen?
Our games are gonna crush, and people are just gonna love us.
Well, our games, if we did more clips of them, and that's not me saying you need to do that.
No, I know it's been on my
agenda. If we did, that's how you're gonna get the broader reach. I'm going to say the podcast, which might be surprising to you because it is not our job to blow the VeeFriends Comics up. That is someone else's job. So like, I can't control that. I want them to, but if the podcast blew up, it would be unfortunate if VeeFriends Comics didn't, because then what would we talk about? We'd be talking about something else. But I'm going to still say the podcast.
Ooh. Rather be remembered as a collector or a storyteller?
Storyteller, even though I'm not. I think that
you want to.
Yes, that's what I would want, or rather than whatever you said the first thing. I don't remember.
Collector.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that.
Collector.
I'm not a great collector. I'm not a great collector. I have a lot of things. That doesn't make me a great collector. Go ahead.
Rather introduce Do you rather want them to introduce a new to the universe character or go deeper into one of the existing stories?
Oh, deeper, no question.
Oh, would you rather the community? It's the last one. Would you rather the community doubles overnight or stays small but deeply connected?
I mean, if it doubles, are we disconnected to the community that we have right now? I still would say double. I would still say double because like the people that you want to be connected with, because like if I didn't want it to keep doubling, I wouldn't have met you. Do you know what I mean? Like if we kept it small and Gate kept it and I only knew the people that were in it in the beginning, then someone like you wouldn't be. So like I wanted to keep doubling.
I like that. That was all my questions.
How'd I do?
Yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong when it comes to like, would you rather this or that?
I just want to be entertaining, Anne.
I think there's some that I know about you that I think a lot of people don't know, like the storytelling and stuff. I know you would be like, or like that you would rather do a comic with them than design an insert. I think a lot of people would think different of that because I don't know that side of you yet.
Here's the thing. I like comics more than I like cards, and it's not close. I have way more cards. I deal way more cards. I love cards. I love comics more because there's stories inside. Because it has both collectability and utility.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to Comic-Con this weekend, and I've never asked an artist on Artist Alley to like sign a comic to then get it graded or get like a remark. How do I approach that?
I love this question. Okay. So, because it can be very awkward, right? You're walking up to someone, they have a table out of their stuff. You're not familiar with their art. You're not familiar with their work. You might be going only to the people that you know, but I, for years and years and years, would walk up to complete strangers. I don't know their art. I don't know their work. I don't know anything about them, but like they have their stuff up. And, you know, sometimes I just awkwardly walk up and like touch stuff and, you know, in that, like I'll pick something up and be like, oh, okay. They usually have like art book and I like flip through it just to see if I like your art and would do enough to where I want you to like do a commission or something. And, you know, a lot of times they'll look at you. I mean, like I've been at a trade show where, you know, or the card show where, you know, someone walks up and they don't even make eye contact and you're like, hi there. And they're like, hi, you know, and they're awkward. It's awkward. It's very awkward. So what I've learned to do is just like, if I don't know who they are and I don't know their work, I start with, you know, normal, they're humans, right? Hey, how you doing? How's the show going for you? Oh, I love this, you know, love your art. It's great. You know, I'll just say something generic and then that's it. Like if I decide like I don't want to move forward with ask for a commission or anything, I just go, this is great. And I'll like move on. If it's something that I want to get a commission or for signing, so a lot of times they'll have a sign on their table and it'll say like commission sketch, you know, $50, signature free for the first 5 or whatever. Right. If they don't have that, I would just say, you know, again, they're humans. They're there to talk, and some are, some not, but like most of them just want to talk, and you can talk to them like you would any other person. Hey, how's it going? How's the show going? This is my first time. This is a lot of fun. Have you been here before? You know, regular conversation stuff. And then when it comes to the other stuff, it's just like, are you signing anything today? And most of the time signing takes 2 seconds. So they'll say yes. And then be like, okay, are you charging for it? Like, is there a limit? You know, you want to find out the information and you don't want to just say how much, right? Because you don't want to be awkward. So pair it with other questions. Is there a limit on how many? Like, do you charge? Like, what most of the time they're just like, yeah, most people don't charge, especially if they're like newer or up and coming artists. They love that people even want their signature, let alone charge. Then you get to the Rob Liefelds that charge like $50 per book, because they know they're going to sign it. You're going to grade it, get it authenticated, and flip it. That's where artists and comic creators get annoyed, is that you're making money on their thing, even though they're making money too. But like, it's tough to like do something. You're like, oh, I just want to, I want to connect with the fans and do all this stuff. And then they just turn around and sell it, and they're just arbitrage. So that's why they keep increasing their rates. And that's why getting commissions is so expensive now. So it's really simple. Like, are you signing today? How much? Do you have any limits? Anything like that? Are you taking any commissions? I said that 100,000 times in my life. Are you taking any commissions? Are you doing any commissions? Yes or no? Oh, okay. And then in commissions, there's head sketch, there's bust, which is like chest or torso up. And then there's full body color. So there's different tiers to commissions. Then there's remarks, which is the quick little doodle on something. So you can just ask, are you taking any commissions today? After you've had the normal human being interaction conversation, then you ask. Don't just you can go just walk them and do it, but that's when they're just like, you're all about business. You don't care. Like, you just, you're looking to just flip probably. So, that's my advice, is just, be a regular human. Did that help?
I want to get signed one from David Mack, because now I finally, like, at Comic-Con, I didn't have his cover. I didn't pull it. So now that I have his cover, I want to get I think just a signature. I don't know if I need a whole remark on it. I'm not sure yet, but that'd be cool.
I have the thing that I want you to look into for me. Okay.
Then I hope that Todd Beats was supposed to be at Comic-Con, but I don't see his name anymore on the list of artists. So I'm not sure. I'm going to bring the comics and let him sign it if he's there, but if not, then not.
It's cool. I'm excited for you. We'll be in contact while you're there. When is it? Thursday
to Sunday.
Right.
And I think Saturday I'm going to bring my daughter.
Oh, cool. Okay.
My first Comic-Con.
Awesome. I'll be away at that point, but text me any cool stuff, because I'll still have my phone. That's exciting. Oh, one thing I did want to point out, maybe I'll wait till we sign off. Which, are we there yet?
I think so.
Okay. Well,
all the games again.
Thank you for listening or watching, or both. Again, I'm Tom, and that's Ann, and this is It Canon, and thank you for being here. All right, from us here at Is It Canon, again, read more comics.
More fucking comics, and subscribe. Share the episode. Tell your friends about it. Your neighbors.
Tell your mama.
Dry cleaner.
Tell your sister I said hello.
And maybe tag Gary and tell him you really want to see him on here. Like, you would love to see him on that. We haven't asked him yet.
But I'm not asking him. I'm never asking him. I'm never asking Gary to come on this podcast.
We're going to wait until he asks.
What's that?
We're going to wait until he asks?
Yes.
Sure. It's going to happen.
We'll be fucking 80. Welcome back to Is It Canon. No, I was just saying that I'm not asking. You can ask. I'm not asking.
Once I actually talk to the guy.
Yeah. You never even talked to him. All right. Well, thank you, Ann. This was fun. Till next week, Minakawa. I'm excited.
Me too.
And then I think we might do another little revisit. We should get a new guest, by the way. I have ideas. All right. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.